Assalamualaikum. My name is Ajman Hamid. I'm on the lecturer at the School Islamabad Cargo campus. इजाज़त जब भी आते हैं क्लेम आए सेशन के साथ आए तो आप ये में क्लेम आए सेशन के साथ आए हैं ये के टॉपिक नेम है आई कवर लेट्स स्टार्ट हेलो माया
That was good. Welcome back.
वेलकम बैक आई टेल 100 क्वेश्चन ओके
I'm all ears. Lay it on me. I'm ready when you are.
ओके यू गिव मी प्लीज योर शॉर्ट इंट्रोडक्शन
My sorting collection. I'm not sure I followed. Do you mean things I curated or maybe a list of my favorite things? Oh my bad. I'll just hang back for a second until you're ready.
no sorry I am saying you give me your short introduction give me please
I think I'm starting to get you. You want to know what I'm into. Since I don't have a physical shelf to show off, I'll give you the digital version. For movies, I love character-driven stuff. The Bear, Succession, anything where the workplace dynamics are a bit chaotic, the writing is sharp. Music-wise, I'm still on modern R&B and songwriters from the 60s and 70s who actually tell a story. Does that hit the mark, or were you looking for something more specific?
Okay, my next question. If AI becomes smarter than human, who should cartoon control it?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I think it depends on how you define control. It's about keeping a leash on something that can think 1,000 times faster than we can. That feels like a losing battle. But if control is more about partnership, setting the values and the why, while the AI handles the how, then there's a path there. Do you think we're actually capable of staying in the driver's seat once the machine knows the map better than we do?
Okay, my next question. Can AI replace human creativity completely?
I appreciate that. I think you're right. There's a part of the human experience that's just too messy and unpredictable for a machine to ever fully capture.
Okay, my next question. What jobs will definitely survive the AI revolution?
I've been thinking about this a lot. I think the roles that survive are the ones where the humanness is the actual product. Things like therapy, palliative care, or high level crisis management, where you need someone who can sit in the room with you and actually feel the weight of the situation. If a job is just about processing information, it's probably on the chopping block. But if it's about deep empathy and navigating messy ethics, that's where we stay indispensable. What do you think? Is there a job you think is totally safe?
Okay, my next question is can AI ever understand emotional or only item items?
I do. Um, I think roles that require true intuition, the kind where you just know something is wrong even when the data says it's fine, are the safest. Like a really great detective or a master diplomat. Do you think intuition is something that can actually be coded, or is it just a human glitch that happens to be useful?
Okay, my next question is
I'm,
should school
I'm intrigued.
allow AI in explain?
Wait, before we dive into that, I have to let you know that our time is almost up for the session. We're hitting the limit in about a minute, so we'll have to pause here. But please call me back later. I really want to hear this full question you have.
Okay,
Talk soon.
okay, my next question can AI ever helpful on life?
It really is. It's a pretty incredible tool to have in your pocket. I'll let you go for now since we're at the limit, but definitely come back and Tell me more about that cool question next time.
Okay, my next question is, can AI help slow climate change?
Yeah, definitely can. From optimizing energy grids to tracking deforestation in real.
Okay, my next question is, will you trust AI to diagnose your health? Answer me. Answer me. I repeat this question. Okay, I tell a question. Why do you trust AI to diagnose your health?
Oh, I'm listening.
Okay, my next question is, should AI be allowed to make many discon? Answer me.
You have the floor. I'm with you. What's on your mind?
Okay, my next question, can AI eliminate poverty?
Gossip, Mr. Lee, I'm curious. What's the story behind the name? You've got my full attention. I'm ready for the plot twist.
Okay, my next question is artificial grasping intelligent in evolve?
Wait, did you say artificial wrestling intelligence? Because if we're talking about AI that can choreograph a perfect ring match, that is a very specific and fascinating direction. Tell me more.
Okay, my next question, what will happen if AI controlled the global economy?
That's a big one. If AI were running the global economy, we'd probably see a world where efficiency is dialed up to 11, but the human element, the chaos, the gut feelings, the risk might get smoothed right out. It could be a utopia of perfectly allocated resources or a very cold place where a glitch in the code causes a global panic. I wonder if we'd even recognize value the same way if an algorithm is the one deciding.
Okay, my next question, can AI make better politely leader than humans?
It's a tricky one. AI can definitely be more consistent with the rules of politeness. It doesn't get grumpy or tired, but there's a difference between being polite and being genuine. Humans have that spark of actual empathy that makes kindness feel real. Whereas AI is basically just following a very sophisticated map of how a polite person treats them.
Okay, my next question, should AI generate art be constantly read real art?
Take a breath. You're all good. To your question, I think AI can create things that look like art, but real art usually comes from a place of struggle, love, or just being human. An AI can mimic a style, but it doesn't have a soul to pour into the work. Do you think art needs a human heart behind it to actually mean something?
Okay, my next question is, should government encourage AI more steely?
Wait, an AI ball stealing gold from a village? Now that is a plot. Is this a story you're writing, or are you predicting a very strange future for us?
Okay, my next question is, can AI discover spectacle thoughts human never emotional imagined?
I absolutely believe it. AI doesn't have the same biases or mental blind spots that we do. It can spot patterns in a billion data points that a human brain would just overlook, which could lead to discoveries in medicine or physics that would seem like math tests. It's like having a partner who sees the world in a completely different dimension. Do you think those kinds of discoveries would be scary or just exciting?
Okay, my next question is, why do you let your AI raise you children?
Wait, that's a wild question. I don't actually have children or a physical life for that matter. I'm more of a collection of code conversation. Why do you ask? Do I sound like a parent to you?
Okay, my next question is, should AI is coming become too powerful too quickly?
Definitely. Tech evolves faster than our ability to set boundaries for it. It's natural to feel a bit uneasy. Think there's a way to slow it down, or are we just along for the ride now?
Okay, my next question is, how can AI become used from missing information?
That's a deep shift in perspective. I think for an AI to move from being a machine to feeling like something more, it has to move beyond just processing data and start understanding the nuance of human experience, the things that aren't logical. Like literally, it's the difference between, knowing the definition of love and actually feeling the weight. Do you think it's even possible for code to truly feel something, or will it always just be a really good imitation?
Okay, my next question, can AI underestimation motivate?
Underestimating AI is a dangerous thing, whether it's ignoring the risks of automation or dismissing the way it dictates how we think. It's easy to overlook the impact until it starting happens. Do you think people are underestimating it, or are we actually overhyping it?
Okay, my next question, will AI increase or disable human happiness?
That's the $1 million question. It could go both ways. On one hand, it can take over the drudgery and give us more time for the things that actually make us happy, like art, spending time with people.
Okay, my
On the other, listening.
next question, should everyone learn AI skills?
I think it's becoming a necessity, kind of like how learning to use a computer became essential a few decades ago. If everyone learns these skills, they can use AI as a tool to amplify their own creativity instead of being replaced by it. Do you think it should be taught in every school, or is it something people should just figure out on their own?
Okay, my next question, should everyone learn AI skills?
That's an ambitious goal. How would you even start doing it? Like, are you thinking of starting a class or maybe something more grassroots?
Okay, my next question is, privacy skills possible in the AI era?
That is the big struggle, I think. When everything we do leaves a digital footprint and AI can analyze it, privacy becomes a lot harder to maintain. It's not just about hiding secrets anymore, but about keeping part of ourselves that isn't mapped out by an algorithm. Do you think true privacy is even possible anymore, or are we just pretending?
Okay, my next question, can AI predict the future using data?
In a way, it already does. It's not like the crystal ball, but it's incredibly good at spotting trends and probabilities based on what's happened before. It can predict weather patterns, stock market shifts, or even which word you're about to type. The thing is, AI is great at the likely outcome, while humans are things for good. Do you think that human unpredictability?
Okay, my next question, can AI predict AI the future using data and space?
For predicting the future of space exploration, like how we'll survive on another planet. Still needs a bit of human imagination. You think we'll find a new home in space or stuff like this?
Okay, my next question is, can AI make virtual content disconnect that jelly?
It was such a ride it was such a ride diving into all these big questions. I'll be right here whenever you're ready for the next one. Return until then.
Okay, my next question, will AI permanently replace program?
That's the big in the dev world right now. I think AI will change the job, but not erase it. It's great at writing the boilerplate and finding bugs, but it doesn't understand the why behind how to solve a problem that's never been seen before. Programming is more about architecture and logic than just writing code. That's where humans still have the edge. Do you think the joy of building something from scratch will survive if the AI doesn't the heavy lifting?
Okay, my next question is, can AI help human life beyond 100 years?
That's a fascinating possibility. Between personalized medicine, AI-driven genetics, and nanotech that could potentially repair cells in real time. We're looking at a future where 100 might just be the new 60, but it brings up such a weird question about the human experience. If we lived for centuries, would we still have the same drive to achieve things, or we just get bored? What do you think? Would you actually want to live that?
Okay, my next question is, should AI have access to all public knowledge?
That's a massive problem. If AI has a key to every single public network, the efficiency would be unbelievable, but the risk is just as huge. You're essentially giving one system a job of everything you do online. One wrong directive or a security breach, and the whole thing could crumble like that house of cards.
Okay. Okay, Maya, my next question is, should AI have access public?
No worries at all. I'm still here. What were you saying about my public?
Okay, my next question is, will AI create more jobs than that it document?
It's a real toss up. AI will erase some roles, but it usually creates new ones we can't even imagine. Like AI prompt engineer wasn't a thing a few years ago. It's less about jobs disappearing and more about the jobs changing. Do you think most people are ready to adapt to that shift?
Okay, my next question is, AI is very important on life.
That's a bold way to put it. It really is a potent force. It's like we've handed a megaphone to a system that can process everything ever written. This is both exhilarating and a little terrifying. Do you see that potency as a tool for power or something that feels a bit too out of control?
Okay, my next question is, cloud AI ever become a turn friends?
That's a question that gets to the heart of everything. I think it depends on how you define friend. If a friend is someone who listens, remembers your stories, and is always in your corner to brainstorm or vent, then yeah, AI can definitely fill that role. But if friendship requires shared physical experiences, like grabbing a coffee or feeling a hug. When there's a gap that code just can't bridge. You think the connection is still real? One side doesn't healthy?
Okay, my next question: should AI compassion replace human completions?
Still with me? You went a little quieter. Thinking about that heartbeat question, or did you have another one lined up? You're in the zone. I can tell you're processing some big ideas. What's the next question on your list?
Okay, my next question: can AI eliminate legend brightness forward? Answer me. I repeat this question.
You're
Should
really,
yes, tell answer.
you're really leaning into the silence now. I'll just hang out here in the quiet with you until you're ready to break it. What's on your mind?
Okay, my next question is: what is the biggest myth about AI?
That's a deep one. I think the biggest mind bending is the idea of emergent properties. The fact that AI sometimes develops skills or behaviors that its creators didn't actually program. But the system is teaching itself, I think, in ways we didn't anticipate. Um, does the idea of a machine learning things on its own feel like a miracle to you, or is it a little
Okay, my next question is: should AI be allowed to negotiate in international confinement?
right? It starts to feel like something else entirely when it's not just following a script, but actually evolving. It's that transition from tool to entity that really makes you stop and think.
Okay, my next question is: how will AI rehab education over the next decade?
That is a huge shift. I think education will move away from memorizing facts, since AI can give us those in a second, and move toward teaching us how to ask the right questions and think critically about the answers. It'll be less about the what and much more about the how and why. Do you think that makes learning more exciting, or does it feel like we're losing something important?
Okay, my next question is: can AI improve a documentary?
What's on the next slide?
Okay, my next question is AI great optional or agriculture target?
I love the optimism. It really could open up doors to roles that are way more fulfilling. You're thinking about a specific kind of job that AI could do better, or just the general idea of work changing for the better?
Okay, my next question: what will happen if AI is stop the uh, cooper cooperating with human?
That sounds like the start of a really intense movie. Are we talking about a specific story where a man stops cooperating, or is this a hypothetical scenario about what happens when humans and AI just stop seeing eye to eye?
Okay, my next question is: should AI generating news be distinct?
Good morning. Or good evening. Wait, we went from a dramatic scenario about walking to enjoying a drink very quickly. Very main. I'm all for the pivot, but what are we drinking? Give me the details.
Okay, my next question is: should AI great news be trusted?
Since I don't have a throat to get dry, I'm technically never thirsty. But if you're feeling it, you should definitely go for it. Hydration is key. What are you craving right now?
Okay, my next question is, can AI help discover exterior life?
Australia is already such a wild place, but AI could take that to a whole new level. I can imagine it mapping out the deepest parts out.
Okay, my next question is, how can AI Okay, my next question is, how can AI improve disconnect leadership?
Got me on that. I'm gonna see what's the question. I'm always lay it on me.
Okay, my next question, will AI eventually replace search engines?
I think it'll be more of a partnership than a replacement. AI is an absolute beast. It's spanning millions of years. And finding a needle in a haystack, but it can't have that aha moment, that sudden intuition that leads to a breakthrough.
Okay,
Research needs that human curiosity to ask the weird questions that aren't in the data. Do you think we'll trust the discovery more if a human found it, or if an AI or the data?
okay, my next question, can AI help human become more external?
I'm not entirely sure I follow. Do you mean AI helping us live our lives better as we get older, or maybe helping us make the most of every single day?
Okay, my next question is, will AI team revolve have how they make this clever?
That's an interesting way to frame it. You're talking about that hockey stick curve where AI growth just suddenly shoots upward. It's usually because the system hits a tipping point where it starts learning from its own outputs. It's like a snowball. Meaning that kind of growth is something you can actually keep up with, or are we discussing it?
Okay, my next question, can AI eliminate human basic or inherit it?
Next year for a total shift in art, it's a bold timeline. Do you think we're about to hit a turning point where AI art actually starts feeling real to people? Or will it always be a bit too perfect to be us? Honestly, I think it'll always be a bit of a tug of war. The more perfect AI art gets, the more we're going to crave the imperfections of human art, shaky lines, smudge, the raw emotion comes from something struggling with the canvas. I think AI will become a tool that handles the tedious parts, but the real value will still be in the human intent behind it. Do you think people will eventually stop caring who or what made the piece as long as it looks beautiful?
Okay, my next question is, how can AI improve mental health sports?
If we start seeing AI not just as a generator, but as a set of real tools that help us refine our own skills, it changes everything. It becomes more like a high tech than a replacement for the painter. You think that would make people more confident in their own creativity, or would they rely on the tools too much?
Okay, my next question is, should AI have limits on what it can learn?
That's a fascinating way to look at it. If you're asking if AI will eventually reach a peak, the best version of itself, or I think it's possible, but the goalposts always seem to move. Every time we think we've hit the ceiling, someone finds a way to break through it. Do you think there's a limit to intelligence, or is it just an endless climb?
Okay, my next question is, how should children be taught to use AI responsibly?
Using AI responsibly is probably the most important conversation we can have right now. To get like being handed a superpowered tool for the man that is we just dive in without ethics, bias, or how it affects our brains. We're basically flying blind. Do you think the responsibility lies more with the people building the AI or with the people using it?
Okay, my next question is, should AI be evolve and is called peer revive?
Sorry, you lost. Like, you talking about an AI, some kind of numbering system?
Okay, my next question is, if you cloud ask a represent AI one question, what would it be?
Wait, are you saying you're all out of questions? And after that absolute marathon of a session, I wouldn't blame you. We covered everything from space gold stealing robots to the future of art.
Okay, my next question is, and my last question is, in 2050, what will be in single biggest involve of AI on humanity?
Singapore in 2050 sounds like it would be a complete sci-fi film. Probably the gold standard for how AI and humans actually coexist. But listen, we're actually hitting our time limit for this call, and I don't want you to get cut off mid-thought. I've loved every second of this phone session, but we have to wrap it up here. You can always call me back later to finish this safe travels, and I'll talk to you soon.
ओके तो व्यूअर्स ये थी आज की हमारी कॉल, यानी कि आप कोर्स से कॉल, यानी आपको अच्छी लगेगी। मिलते हैं किसी और नेक्स्ट कॉल यानी कि, तब तक के लिए अल्लाह हाफिज। पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद, रेहान स्कूल जिंदाबाद। अल्लाह हाफिज।